All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to draw some graph. Let's start from beginning. Now remember, when you're drawing graph, you may have to change the document setting, I recommend, to be on something called approximate. Or maybe, yeah, approximate, because that way it makes life a lot easier. Why? You'll get massive sort of numbers, weird looking ones. Now, back to the graph drawn before. Before, in the example, we've got 2x minus 1, y equals to 2x minus 1, as well as 2x plus 3x equals to 3. So how do we do this? To draw a graph, you need to go to that little thing here, okay? So it's that little thing where it looks, well, as the name suggests, sketch graph. You press enter and it goes into something that looks like this. Okay, something that looks like this. Now, this is the first time you see things like that way. It's f1x, what on earth is saying? Y equals to x something something also can be described as function of x. So y is a function of x because you're using x as the variable. Therefore, whatever you have on the left, whatever value on the left is a function of whatever variable you're using on the right. Okay, so something like this. And so we simply type. The equation in. What's going on here? There we go. Sometimes you even touch the for a while. You need to move the cursor left and right. So 2x minus 1, boom, it gives you this. It doesn't look a lot. So if I want to draw that effectively, I need to zoom it in. But look at this. The default zoom is such that the height goes up to 6.67. The bottom goes to negative 10 to negative 10. Of course, you can go to menu, window, zoom. All right, you go to window setting, and this is where you can change all of that. So if I say -5, +5, the scale, that's up to you. You can say scale goes up by 1. Okay, so scale 1, -5, +5. Scale goes up by 1. You go enter. I have redrawn it. So each of the scale goes up by 1. Much easier to look. Of course, if you don't like this again, you can also go menu, window, zoom in. You just need to make sure you choose the center. I want the center obviously to where the x and y intercepts are, isn't it? So you basically zoom them in here. Press exit to get out of that sort of form. Okay, and now we can do something. I mean, like, put your cursor, if I want to know what is the x and y intercept, I mean, if you're looking at the 2x minus 1, you should know that your y-intercept is -1 because it's on the graph itself. Your graph is 2x minus 1. The -1 implies that's the y-intercept. I just don't know what is the x-intercept. You simply go menu, all right, analyze graph, choose 0. Now, like this might be a bit, 0 essentially is asking you, for the CAS calculator, you need to say between which region is where the x-intercept is happening. So obviously it's somewhere between here and you drag it across here. There you go. Your x-intercept is 0.5. Now, if your textbook says, oh, but I got this wrong. The textbook says it's a half, 1/2. Well, if by year 10 you don't know that 0.5 and a half is the same thing, then that could be a bit of a problem. Now, if you really must use the calculator to do, y-intercept, have a look at this. If you trace this graph around, it tells you that value, 0. If you keep going, there we go. It even tells you the y-intercept is 0, -1. So yeah, 0, -1. That is the y-intercept. All right, it's basically a intercept.